Hey YouTube, how's everybody doing out there? Me again. Hope you guys are having a great day out there. I know I am. Got some good sleep last night. So we start this day in Billings, Montana. Move on down the road for about 8 hours, not too long. And then we stop at a rest stop. Get up the next morning. We head through the north part of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the traffic there wasn't too bad. We cruised on down the road for another 8 hours, and we ended up making our stop here in Rochelle, Illinois, and sitting at the Road Ranger right now. Just waiting till 12 o'clock so I can go make my delivery. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys a story from my handyman days. Now, some of you guys know, some of you might not know, but before I started truck driving, I got out of the fast food industry and I started working as a handyman. And you meet some interesting people and you end up on some interesting jobs, that's for sure. Well, I ended up working for this older gentleman for a long time, and he was a pretty good guy. Did a couple jobs here and there for him, and he had another job for me. He was like, hey, I need to put the chandelier up. I'm putting up ceiling fans and things like that. I was like, it can't be too bad, you know. The only problem is he wants it put up over his stairwell in his 2-story house. And I don't have a fucking ladder that goes up that tall. And I tell him that. I'm like, I don't have a ladder that goes up that tall. And he was like, well, is there anything you need to do on the ceiling? Can't you do it through the attic? And I told him, I was like, if it's anything like ceiling fans, I don't think so. You know, you have the little plate and whatnot that goes up the bottom of the, make sure that it's flush to the ceiling and everything. And he was like, well, let's see what we can figure out. And I was like, well, if anything, it's going to be a 2-person job. And he was like, well, I can help you. Now, this guy he's old. And he doesn't get around too well. I'm like, I don't know how much fucking help you're gonna be, but alright, fuck it, let's go ahead and give it a try. You know, I'm down to try whatever. If you want to pay me for the time we put into it, even if it don't get done, whatever, I'm all for it. That's your business, alright? So he brings out this chandelier, and he says that he bought it like 6 years ago or something like that, and doesn't have any of the paperwork for it, no instructions on putting it together. And it's like one of these hanging chandeliers that have all the different crystals and things and wires that hang down at the bottom. I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna be ridiculous. So I think it took like 4 or 5 hours just to put this thing together, and that was a fucking mess in itself, but it turned out nice. It was a real nice chandelier. So after assembling this thing, I already know, I'm like, this thing's way too heavy. I'm gonna end up fucking this thing up by myself. And I'm not fucking it up, but you know, having to put this thing up by myself, probably fucking it up too, but so now I gotta figure out how the hell to get it all the way up there without a ladder and just doing it through the ceiling. Because sure enough, you would have to screw the bottom part into the top of the ceiling. Not the top of the ceiling, but like a joist that's sitting there and whatnot, right? So I go all the way up into the attic and I throw a rope on down. I'm like, all right, well, maybe we can use some kind of pulley system to pull this thing on up here, and then I can secure it down, and we can go from there and see what the hell we need to do with wiring it up and like getting it to stay there permanently. So that's what we end up doing. We throw the rope down, tie it, pull it on up. I secure the rope to a joist that's upstairs in the attic. And pretty much that's all we ended up doing for this damn thing. We just secured the rope. I added a couple more ropes on there just to make sure, secured them to some different joists. And I went ahead and hooked up the electrical, and that was it. It actually turned out pretty good. I think I put some putty on the base plate that went up against the ceiling and then re-pulled it back on up just to get that to stick there, and so there would be like no gap or anything along the ceiling and the chandelier. But it turned out pretty good. I'll go ahead and add a picture on in here for you guys. It was actually pretty decent. It wasn't too bad at all. And I'm happy with how it came out. And he ended up having me go on to do a lot more work for him. And it was just weird. Like, sometimes you just got to figure some shit out. But we're almost here at our destination, so I think I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I appreciate all the support, friends, family, people from YouTube. Hope you enjoyed this story, and hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in our next trip. All right? Bye.